All right, guys, we're live, and let me get this link out to everybody. Y'all let me know if you can see me good. As you can see, we're in the new palatial TigerBait.com studio, our new digs. Let me know what you think. A lot of you have been with us since day one on our Facebook Lives, and certainly we're moving up in the world with the way we're doing these things. Let me see let me get these links out. I want to get them out to everybody. Let's see. As you can see, my forehead's been sweating. Getting all this new studio up and running for you guys tonight. We got a lot to talk about: LSU football, recruiting, and after a big week of recruiting, there's Blaine, good old Blaine Smith in with us. He's always with us. Blaine, you can hear me okay? Let me know. Let me drop this link that we're live, and I want to get it out on Twitter, and then we're going to get rolling here. Let's see. Let's see. All right, guys, we got a lot to talk about. Of course, we're brought to you by Pride Roofing. We're here in the new digs tonight. Got Preston Gott. No, that's not Preston Gott. That's a potted plant. No, I've been saving that joke all day, throwing some fun at my boy Preston. Preston was a big help this weekend getting this table up here. And I know he's going to be excited. He hadn't seen it, what this new studio looks like. Yeah, I'll tell you what, got some big recruiting info tonight. I got a big mother load. I think I'm going to be putting together a war room on TigerBait.com real soon. But after a big week last week, you had Matthew Langlois on Monday, Sage Ryan on Saturday, Jack Besh on Sunday. Of course, I made the beeline to St. Thomas More Turlings last Friday night when I got the word Friday morning that Jack had committed to giving Ed Orgeron his word. And of course, he didn't announce it till 6 o'clock Sunday night. I hadn't planned on going to St. Thomas More. I'd already been to several games. Of course, opening night against Plaquemine. Wanted to see Walker Howard's first game as a starter. And then, of course, no-brainer at Catholic, game of the year. And being able to see him and plus the great players for Catholic High. I was either going to LCA on Friday night or I was going to go down to Thibodaux to see Jamie and Buxton, the class of 2023 defensive lineman, and ended up back at St. Thomas More. And I know a lot of you guys are excited about both Sage Ryan and Jack Besh, two Lafayette area guys. You know, I lived in Lafayette for three decades before moving back home to Baton Rouge. And now all of a sudden the Lafayette area is booming with talent when there was a drought for a little while. So big get. LSU's up to 21 commitments. Big news on Saturday morning, then LSU lays an egg at 2:30 against Auburn. Absolutely ugly. Now we're in an open date, and we'll see if they can keep it respectable against Alabama next Saturday. No doubt Kerry Vincent's live feed from the locker room. Roll Tide what? Yeah, that's being played on a loop in the Alabama locker room right now, nonstop until next Saturday or next Friday when they hit the road for LSU. Blaine Smith, does it look like we're going to hold on to all the recruits committed so far? I tell you what, one thing I wanted to get out there too is I know LSU's, a lot of people are confused about the self-imposed 8 scholarships and no idea when the NCAA is going to accept that or not. It could be next week. It could be 4 or 5 months from now. Who knows? But that doesn't affect this year's class. It doesn't affect any year's class as far as signing a full class of 25. LSU will sign a full class of 25. And despite having 21 commitments, when you start saying, okay, well, it can only be these 3 or 4 guys left. No, there's actually about 8 to 12 guys that they're choosing from. And I think we could have a lot of movement here in the next, 6 to 8 weeks on the recruiting front for LSU. Jennifer Timms looks good. Thank you. Let's see. Christopher Jordan Lacombe, watching from Houston. Glad to have you. A lot of LSU folks in the Houston area. One of the guys that I wanted to talk about tonight with you guys is, of course, Derek Davis, who was on campus last weekend. And everybody's safety, of course, 4-star safety, and was there on campus while LSU was at Auburn. I'm told that visit went very well. We started our all-day chat today, and someone was asking me what's going on with him because he's going to announce his decision. Talked to some guys up north that I've worked with for years, and they all said it was Penn State, Ohio State. Don't be surprised if LSU doesn't end up with another safety in this class come Saturday. So be on the lookout for Derek Davis on Saturday. I might just go ahead and put in a commitment on that one, a commitment prediction. That could be a very big get for LSU. Terrell Capdeville, let me know if I brutalized your name. How about a new defensive coordinator? Yeah, that's not going to happen. LSU's over $80 million in the hole, laying off people in the athletic administration, coaches taking pay cuts. You'd have to pay Bo Pelini millions of dollars, and I don't think from a PR standpoint or a dollars and cents standpoint that's going to happen. The fact of the matter is LSU is missing a whole lot of talent. We've been talking about it every week. I like Ali Gay. But the fact of the matter is Jabril Cox and some of the newcomers are guys have bright futures. But the guys that are your upperclassmen guys, I mean, seriously look at that front seven and say, who are your all SEC first or second team guys? They're not there. I mean, Jabril Cox is a guy that because of all the tackles he's got, you could probably put there. But I'm not seeing it right now. Let's see. Courtney Brown, love the new set design. Thank you, Courtney. Chance Babb and Tristan Lee. I still think it's LSU for him. I think Savion Byrd, another offensive lineman, is going to be a part of this class. Corey Foreman is LSU or Georgia. Arizona State is making things a little interesting as well. Mason Smith I have had as a probable to LSU for a long time. And despite Jack Besh, Brian Thomas is still a very good possibility for LSU. So now you're asking yourself, how are you going to make all that work when you can only sign 25? Like I said, I think there's going to be some things that happen here in the next 6 to 8 weeks as to how they get all this done. So tune in to TigerBait.com. Let's see, I want to get some more of your questions in here tonight. We're also live on YouTube, by the way. I always want you guys to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Look for TigerBait.com. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for when we get stuff there. Trenton Eubanks, Coach O is definitely the best recruiter in the game. They have brought in the talent. They just have to scheme accordingly, set them up to be successful. And that's the thing, Trenton. There's a whole lot of piling on with the way LSU looks this year. It looks downright awful. I get it. You don't like kids on the sideline when you're getting blown out, cutting up and smiling. That was something that Coach Orgeron addressed earlier this week. And I just think that what you're running into right now is just an absolute perfect storm of newcomers, opt-outs, young talent, missing talent. And I think that with what they've got coming in, some of the guys that are on the roster now that are young, they're going to get better as time goes. Learning Bo Pelini's system, I think they're going to be just fine next year. We just got to weather the storm this year and hope that some of these scores late in the season don't get out of hand. But even then, it's like I have a poll on the front page of TigerBait right now is, where's LSU get the wins? What's the win total? Is it can they get to 4 wins? Can they get to 5 wins? What is the maximum number of wins? Because it's not going to be easy the rest of the way, no doubt. Garrett Galger, do you think the retention is important? Absolutely. I've been saying that for a long time. When they said that LSU was going to get that COVID year, and I had an inkling of what was going to be happening with the self-imposed sanctions, it immediately was like, okay, well, you can remedy that by getting as many of your seniors to take the free year. And and I think that's what, Ed Orgeron has started talking about for the last few weeks, that he's got a list of seniors that he wants to bring in to the office, talk to, and say, look, we want you to, be here for us and come back next year. Certainly there's some juniors that are just, their draft stock's going to be too high. But I think there's a lot of guys that are possibly middle to late round guys that they can convince to come back next year, and they need to, because that'll help you offset the NCAA scholarship reductions, just, assuming that they'll accept what LSU is offered up. And then you get a full class of 25, and you can get healthy in a hurry. The other thing is the proposed changes to the APR. If those proposed changes, where they're going to be more lax because of what everybody's dealing with, if that doesn't get passed at the next convention, I think that's going to be a problem, because I think LSU might also have an APR problem with all the guys opting out, transfers, early drafts, draftees. That's really done some damage to LSU's APR. Chris Vanessa Mess Domain, what's up, y'all? Glad to have you with us. Get fired up. Really want Ingram and Deculus back. That would be huge, Blaine, no doubt. We are LSU. Chris Vanessa Mess Domain. Let me know how you want me to say that. Do you want me to read the whole thing, or is it just Chris? Or are both Chris and Vanessa watching both with us this week, every week? Let's see what else. Only person draft stock high is Terrace Marshall. There could be a few others, but we'll see. Jabril Cox ain't coming back. He's going to go. But yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Shanahan coming back. That's one of the ones that Ed Orgeron mentioned first, the guys that he wants to talk to. So, how much fun is he having down here? Is he enjoying the food? Has he got a new girlfriend? There can be a whole lot of factors in convincing a guy like him to come back. Let's see what else we got for you guys. Oh, I certainly want to talk about Pride Roofing. And I talked to Mike Faraday this morning. I talked to him. Look, they have been absolutely Johnny on the spot with all the storms that we've weathered here. And just wanted to relay some bullet points to you guys. Tons of boots on the ground. Lake Charles, Louisiana to Biloxi, Mississippi. They're not just in at the Louisiana border on east or west. They're hitting the Gulf Coast with any damages there. They both offer commercial and residential services. They work with experts, Xactimate software, the same software used by the insurance company. So when they give you a quote, it's going to be very accurate. You want to give them a call, 225-275-2041. Mike Faraday, Alex Martinez, talked to them both this morning. Absolutely super guys. I grew up with Mike Faraday. He's an LSU grad, a Broadmoor High School grad, Better Business Bureau, the highest rating you can get. Adding trucks. As soon as these storms hit, they're there to help people. And certainly they're in business to make money. But their warranty on their labor is the absolute best of any roofing company in South Louisiana. Please give Pride Roofing a call. And look, you might know, we just want to know if you're a year or two away or 3 years away from needing a new roof, and you just want to get an idea of what it's going to cost you. Give them a call. Tell them TigerBait.com is where you heard about them. And I think you'll be very happy with them. Free inspections, free quotes. They work with your insurance adjusters if you had hail damage or any damage to any of these multiple storms we have. And they offer Class 4 hurricane shingles. That's Pride Roofing. And call that 225 number and tell them Mike Scarborough at TigerBait.com referred you. Let me get back to some more of your questions. Obviously, it's an open date. Everybody was kind of, I know Preston talked about it last night. Everybody was kind of little sidetracked with voting and elections and election coverage. And I think it probably hit at the right time, open date, for us to get that out of the way, although it's not out of the way. It looks like we could be going a long time before we know what's going to happen at the top. But I know it's a football show. Anything new on Will Wade? No. I think the thing on LSU basketball, do they try to take a route that the football program did? Do they try to offer up something self-imposed? Because I think the NCAA, when they look at LSU, is like, look, we know something happened. We know it doesn't look good, but we can't prove it. So I think, is there a way for Will Wade and the LSU brass and attorneys to offer something up to the NCAA that'll appease them and get LSU out of this? Because look, that's affecting Will Wade in recruiting. He's still recruiting at a good clip, but there's some guys that he's hitting headwinds out because he's got that cloud hanging over the program. Garrett Brian Champagne, level 2, level 1 volatile. What's the morale of the team? That is a good question. Do we have a legit chance to beat Alabama? I think it's slim and none. Crazy things can happen. But, I just think Alabama is just so strong. LSU's missing so many pieces. It's going to be tough, but you never know what can happen. Unfortunately, we don't have a full Tiger Stadium to help the team out. This team looks horrible, but an actual offseason to prepare, bringing them all back next year will look like a whole different squad, no doubt. Trenton Eubanks. Might we see Stingley on offense? That was something that was talked about last year and early in the offseason before COVID hit. And I just haven't seen where it's really made sense. I think if you do anything like that, it's just kind of, trying to be cute for cute's sake. No doubt he's a special talent. But look, you've got enough offensive weapons there where I don't think you need them. Of course, I could be wrong, and Stingley's absolutely pestering the coaching staff to get him involved on offense, whether it's on a reverse, an end around, goal line, red zone, something special, trickery, or whatever it might be. But that's the whole thing when you bring in a guy like that. It immediately raises red flags. It's just something might be up to the other team. Let's see what else we got. What recruit are you most excited for next season? Someone asked me that in the all-day chat today on TigerBait.com, and I'd have to say I really like Savion Jones at St. James. I think he can be absolutely a beast. A lot of you have seen him. I think the ceiling on him as an edge rusher for LSU is unlimited. I don't think he knows how good he can be. I went out and saw him in early August at one of their practices where they were doing some 7-on-7 work, and it's not hard to pick him out on the football field. He's all of about 6'4", 6'5", probably 250. Maybe he's gotten a little heavier than that, and he can add 20 pounds to that frame in no time. I think, when he arrives on campus and he starts eating those meals in the new nutritional center right there in the football building, it ain't gonna be hard for him to pack on a whole lot of muscle, which is typical of a lot of the high school recruits. A lot of those guys get out of class. They got, they've got real high metabolisms. They eat one meal a day. They're not eating like they're supposed to, and that's not good for a lineman like that. But as soon as he gets on campus, that ain't gonna be a problem. Was glad to see Jack Besh commit, no doubt. You can talk about who this guy's rated, or these guys in state. A couple of guys are rated higher than him, but there's no doubt who the most productive wide receiver in the state of Louisiana has been the last few years, and it's Jack Besh. He's now the all-time leader in STM history. A little under 6'3", 212 to 215 pounds. Tenacious, competitive, hard worker, has a drive. Of course, we know about his uncles Brett and Blaine that played for LSU, and just a super kid. Walker Howard's buddy. Those two absolutely giddy when that offer landed with Jack several weeks ago. Any word on Guillory's ankle? Samuel, I need to go back and look, because I know when we did the show last Saturday, Preston said he got in on that last drive. I didn't really want to turn that tape on and watch it again. Y'all let me know if y'all saw him in there. Preston said he got in on that last series. But I'm like you. If he's healthy, and if this season is what it is and it's a total loss, let's get guys like him, newcomers, in and build for the future. Get him some experience. Let him take his lumps. I think Jacobian is going to be the real deal. He had the ankle, had COVID back in the summer. Last time I saw him, I think probably he could have lost a little weight. But get him rolling. You need to get him some experience. Jaquelin Roy, same thing. Ali Gay, he's one of those guys that I don't think is going anywhere. You'll have him back next year. You get Savion Jones, hopefully Landon Jackson. LSU's 2021 commitment from Texas will be healthy and ready to get ready to go next year. Rayshawn Davis, of course. You're about to have a lot of defensive help in this class. Corey Foreman, like I mentioned, is LSU, Georgia, Arizona State. Mason Smith, a probable from Terrebonne. I think you're going to about to have an infusion of talent, and especially of Ed Orgeron and the staff. There he is, Blake Ruffino. Are you serious? In the chat. Glad to have you with us, Blake. I tell you what I'm going to do too. You guys, every time I'm on Blake's show, I give out the code for his show, AYS30. Y'all use it. If y'all go to TigerBait.com and subscribe, the $1 trial period, it's usually 1 week for $1. If you use the code AYS30 in the discount code or the coupon code box, you'll get 30 days for $1. So that's a tip to you guys right there. Blake Ruffino loves the brick background. Glad you enjoy it. Let's see what else. You know what I've been doing? I've been sitting here looking at the. Look at old Blake. There he is. Loves the Todd Harris has struggled this season, no doubt. He was one of those guys, Hunter John Daigle, that obviously coming off of knee surgery, and one of those guys that we were looking forward to having back. And he certainly has taken his lumps, but I think a lot of those guys back there are taking their lumps this year just because the defensive front for LSU has struggled in getting to the quarterback, and that's whether it's your edge rushers not getting to the quarterback, that's like having an extra defensive back on the field. Trenton Eubanks, Gay and Cox playing on the field edge, like there's definitely the shining light in the defense. Really excited to have those guys. I don't see any way Jabril Cox will be back for 2021, but Ali Gay, I can just see him taking another step forward when he's back next year. William Peden, great show. Mike, there he is. There he is, Billy. Grew up with Billy right there in Sherwood Forest. And, of course, he was buddies with Mike Faraday as well at Pride Roofing, who's sponsoring our show tonight. Glad to have you with us, Billy Peden, and talk to your brother Bobby earlier tonight. And he's watching us on YouTube. He's one of the few guys that are catching us on YouTube. Everybody else looks to be. James Phillips is on YouTube. Why are senior defensive Logan and Farrell having such poor years? Look, I think, James, that Farrell obviously decided to come decided to come back after opting out, missed a lot of conditioning. And I also think, look, Neil Farrell, Logan, those guys, I think, there's one of the terms that we say these guys are just guys. Tyler Shelvin had a chance to be an upper-level guy, made some poor choices in my mind. I don't know what that effect's going to have. I'm told he's not in class, pulled out of school, and I don't know what that's going to do to his draft stock, but I don't think it's going to do anything but hurt. But look, you've got guys, and then you've got difference makers. And I think, look, Jaquelin Roy, I think Jacobian Guillory, I think Ali Gay can be a difference maker. Ojolari, as he gets more experienced and heavier. I think there's going to be a whole lot of movement in some new faces next year. And whether it's the offensive line, defensive front seven, linebackers, I think, but they're going to be a young football team, no doubt about it. But I think people don't mind a young football team and knowing that, hey, what you've got getting built. And when Ed Orgeron, I know a lot of people wanted to mock Orgeron earlier this week when he says we're building a championship team. And I think a lot of people are piling on with him. And I think a lot of it's unfair what people are throwing at the staff right now. This is just absolutely I mean, look, some of it, you can say the team didn't play inspired, or you don't like the, guys smiling and cutting up on the sideline when they're getting their ass kicked at Auburn. I get it. But at the same time, there's some talent there, and they're going to get healthy. We'll get through this COVID thing. You'll get an infusion of talent, and I think there's much brighter days there. There's not all those great coaches on this football season just didn't all of a sudden become dunces and forget how to coach. Chance Babin, what are the final 4 commitments? Good question. And like I was saying earlier in the chat, and I'm just, whether you're going Tristan Lee, Mason Smith, Brian Thomas, Derek Davis, the safety on Saturday. You've got Savion Byrd, the offensive lineman from Duncanville, Texas, who I still think is a probable at LSU. So that'll give you 3 offensive linemen. I think there's also a possibility if they don't go with a full class of 24. I know a lot of people have been saying that maybe there's a grad transfer or 2 as far as offensive linemen if need be. I think there's still a couple of running backs that LSU is looking at. So it's going to be very interesting. It's not, I always want to soft pedal or not, when it's a touchy subject as far as guys that you're seeing on the commitment list and whether they're actually going to be there on signing day. But I think there's enough names out there and enough needs where things could get interesting here in the next 6 to 8 weeks as far as LSU's class of 2021. Chris Vanessa Mesh Domain, it was tough when we were down 53. I was in shock. And look, that's the other thing. These kids are 19, 20 years old. I get it. At some point, halftime, third quarter, the game's way out of hand. There's no way you're going to make a comeback. You're getting steamrolled. It's snowballing. And sometimes these kids are just trying to, I don't know if you want to say hitting it with humor and trying to make light of it the best way they can to cope with what's happening to them. I don't think a whole lot of it's malicious or it's a sign that these kids don't care. But maybe so there's not guys on talk shows and stuff pointing the finger at them. Mike, a lot of questions tonight about Derek Davis. Anything there? Yeah, talked about him several times now. You want to be paying attention Saturday. I'll leave it at that. I think someone asked me earlier today in my chat. I said, no, it looks like Penn State. No, I think LSU is positioned very well for a third safety in this class. Derek Davis going down Saturday. We're waiting to see exactly what time that's going to happen. So stay tuned to TigerBait.com. So there you go. If that happens, that's 22. And you can go down the list. I can give you another 8 or 9, 10 names that LSU's recruiting. So there ain't just 3 spots left. There's going to be some movement, I think, guys. So see how that. Garrett Gauger, could you see Ensminger retiring? Man, I tell you what, it's so funny. I mean, I can probably go back to, 2012, 2013, people wanting to retire Steve Ensminger. I mean, that rumor is every year. And it's one thing that you soon realize after he's retained by Ed Orgeron after Les Miles got fired. He is a valuable, valuable component to the LSU staff. And he's not a ego guy. He's not a me guy. And, if he decides, look, I don't want to be the offensive coordinator one day, but I just want to be an inside analyst, then Ensminger can call his shot. If he wants to just be tight ends and not be offensive coordinator, he can call his shot. If he wants to, I think he retires when he wants to retire. He's that valuable and respected in that LSU football program. And look, I was one of those guys when he got hired that I thought at the time, what year was that? You guys tell me. I'm trying to, all the years are starting to run together. I thought that should have been more of a recruiting a hire that particular year because I thought Les Miles did not have a bunch of very adept recruiters on the staff, and I thought it was a mistake. And as the years have passed, he's proven me wrong time and time again. What you don't make 4 in recruiting you get in a guy that's absolutely valuable and a wise man on that football staff. And there's a reason why Les Miles, Ed Orgeron, and many others in that building go to him when they need another valuable opinion. Trenton Eubanks. Another question that keeps hitting my mind is what is going on with the running backs? Is leaning on Davis Price the current plan? He seems to be the most consistent back. What is the future with Curry and Emery? I think they're going to keep doing what they're doing, hot hand. Certainly effective against South Carolina. Then look like dog poo against Auburn. And, of course, that had something to do with the offensive line being dog poo. They didn't get it done. Garrett, not knocking him, just hacking. I agree. I was just rolling on about how he's kind of been a guy that, I was a guy that I thought that should have maybe been a minority hire or a recruiting hire. And usually your tight ends coach, when he was hired by Les Miles, that's usually what they are. It's a younger coach that you need on the recruiting trail that's going to bring you guys in territories that you need them. And I'd have to go back and look at the staff, but I thought at the time Les Miles was missing a whole lot of recruiters. And in years when Louisiana wasn't producing enough talent, he wasn't doing very well. And I think, over the years, and, there's a whole lot of this guy is the recruiting guru and this and that. There was a whole lot of poor roster management in those last 5 or 6 years of Les Miles and not doing a very good job recruiting nationally. And now we see what recruiting nationally looks like with Ed Orgeron. He is absolutely doing it, and they're putting in the legwork. Chance Babin, I still think we have a lingering locker room issues from the summer, social justice, Coach O on Fox News. I don't think so. I think those guys know Ed Orgeron. He is absolutely a loyalty guy. If you're good to him, if you're nice to him, he's going to say we had a good time and we like this guy or that guy. You're not going to have him as a guest in your living room and you treat him nice and feed him a nice meal, and he's not going to go outside and talk bad about you. That's not what he's going to do. And I think those LSU football players know that's how he is. He's a loyalty guy, and he's been that way all along. And look, John Bell Edwards, he says nice things about Donald Trump. He says something nice about. He's not a political guy. He's a guy that if you're good to him, he's good to you. He's not picking enemies. I think that, and I think those LSU football players know that. Reginald Cormier, how you feel we finished on the offensive line class? Certainly got Dellinger already committed. I think Tristan Lee will be a part of this class. I think Savion Byrd from Duncanville, Texas. And then maybe could there be a fourth guy, a grad transfer, if they hold back a spot on this class. But like I said, when you start running through all these numbers, if Derek Davis goes down on Saturday, there's got to be some movement. And we're going to see how this works out here in the coming weeks. Is there one guy, two guys, 3, 4 guys that we're seeing on the commitment list that and maybe it looks different? We're going to see how this plays out in the coming 6 to 8 weeks. It's going to be a very interesting November, I can tell you that. Richie Evans, rebuilding year, young talent, cream of the crop, great day to be a Tiger. Paul Feinbaum's comments will cease next year. I would like to see our Tigers finish strong, 60 minutes every game. Yeah, I think, look, that's what people want to see. They want to see maximum effort. Next week against Alabama, play above your heads. Don't make mistakes. Execute as best you can. You never know what can happen. But don't let what happened at Auburn happen at home against Alabama. And Alabama is a much better team than Auburn. But that doesn't mean you get beat worse by Alabama at home than you did at Auburn. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to be focused and want to put their best effort forward despite missing a lot of pieces. I tell you what, guys, I went 35 minutes tonight. Go to TigerBait.com. We want you to subscribe. We've had an unbelievable group of new subscribers in the last several weeks. Recruiting's kicking in a whole other gear. I've given you a little bit of tidbits tonight. I've got more. I'm about to go into our all-day chat. I'm going to be doing our all-day chat on TigerBait till midnight tonight. That's still going. I got a lot of stuff to share with those guys, some of it that I didn't share here tonight. And I've got more coming tomorrow on TigerBait. Then I'm hitting the road, going to see some prospects tomorrow night. I think I'm going to hit the road and have a bunch of good stuff for you guys. So Garrett Gouger, why hasn't Corey Raymond gotten more of a look as a DC? I think Corey Raymond is a position coach. I think he's a defensive back coach. I just think, you know, not to say that it can't happen. I just think he's always been a position coach guy. You know, I'd like to see probably a study as to, you know, if you're not a coordinator by a certain age, you know, what is the likelihood of it happening? He is the recruiting coordinator on the staff, making very good money. And so I think Pelini is your guy. And I think if you had to, if something were to happen with Pelini, which I don't think it is, I think your next man up would probably be Bill Bush if you had to hire from within to name a defensive coordinator, but I could be wrong. Maybe Bush is a guy that doesn't really want that. Trenton Eubanks, you guys have a great show. Really enjoyed it. Keep it up. Glad to have you. First night in the new digs. Let me know what y'all think. Please share this on Facebook. Hit the like button. Much appreciated. Go to TigerBait and subscribe. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. And very much appreciate all you guys participating with us tonight. And I think these shows are going to get better every week. And I've got some more things that are coming in this studio besides everything else. Preston will be, of course, on the other side of the table next week. I want to thank Pride Roofing, as always, for our midweek sponsor. They're absolutely valuable to us. Give them a call if you've got roofing issues or you know someone. Tell them you heard about them on TigerBait.com. They're the official roofing company of TigerBait. And we'll be back here next week. And good night.